Hi. Okay. I haven't posted on here in a while just because I started going to college and I was scared that people would find my YouTube channel. Um, so I put all my videos on private and I just stopped posting. And also because it's like kind of shit quality because it's phone videos. So yeah. Um, but I usually only like start posting things on YouTube when I need to like rant or when I'm having a difficult time or I just want to let people know that they're not alone. And I think that this is like one of those times where I both need to rant and like let people know if you're having similar issues as me, like you're not the only person going through this. So my name is Sunny. I'm 19 years old. I'm about to turn 20 in 2 months. Just like some quick background on me. I got diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder when I was in elementary school. I believe I was in third grade. Diagnosed with depression in 10th grade, PTSD in 12th grade. And now I'm here. um, so, obviously, when you get diagnosed with things, you have a therapist, a psychiatrist, and your psychiatrist, prescribes you pills. I take medicine for my PTSD and for my depression, but they took me off of my anxiety medicine because my parents said that like no matter what anxiety medicine I took, it would turn me into like a zombie. Like it just turned me emotionless, and they didn't like that. Like they wanted to see their happy daughter. So instead of giving me more anxiety medicine and like just trying keep doing the trial and error thing, they decided to just take me off of anxiety meds altogether. Um, which I wasn't. I didn't mind that at first. Like I wasn't opposed to that. But and I was fine for 2 years, but this is my third year without anxiety medicine, and I'm starting to break down a little bit. And I think I always have anxiety. It's generalized anxiety. Like no matter what I do, I'm anxious. I live in a dorm, so whenever I have to do my laundry and I'm in my pajamas, I get anxious that like someone will see me. Or if there's like a male security guard, like what happens if my pajama, like I don't wear a bra with my pajamas, like what happens if that's doing too much and a security guard sees me. Um, I don't know, that makes me anxious. Going to the grocery store makes me anxious. um, Walking in the street, just like in general, alone, makes me anxious. Even though the only form of exercise I do is jogging. No, that's not true. I do yoga too, but like the only like public form of exercise I do is jogging. That's just because going to the gym versus jogging, I'd rather jog. Going to the gym, I would cry. Like I've had like full on breakdowns at gyms before. It's really fucking embarrassing. I'd rather just jog than go to a gym. Being in classrooms make me anxious. Presenting in classrooms make me anxious. Asking people to hang out with me makes me anxious, which is why I never ever ask anyone to hang out. Like, if you want to hang out with me, or if you see that I'm doing something with someone else and you want to tag along, you would have to ask me first. Like, I'm so bad at asking people to hang out with me. So yeah. So now that's like all covered. My depression is circumstantial, meaning that something has to trigger it in order for me to go into a depressive episode. I don't have like, I'm not just I'm not just depressed. Like something has to happen in order for me to get depressed, and I'll be depressed for like 3 to 4 months, and then I'll get over it until something new triggers me. Um, so recently, I was given a 10-page paper for my internship. I have to write a 10-page paper for college, and that has been stressing me out lately. On top of that, I had like kind of like a friends with benefits relationship with this guy, uh, and I'm like the type of person I fall for people very very easily. Like if you tell me your life story, and if we vibe like really well, I I will most likely be in love with you. So I started liking him, and obviously my luck, the first person I've liked since I dealt with my whole PTSD thing. turned around and like someone like shiny and new. So I've been really struggling with that. So my essay on top of this guy problem and the fact that I don't really have friends on campus and like my actual friends are back home in Jersey. That's been a lot for me to cope with. So I've been having really, 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 really bad anxiety attacks lately, like really bad breakdowns. Like I cannot stop. Like last week, was the first good week I've had since the beginning of February. But I just keep having really bad like panic attacks, and it's not anxiety attacks. It's panic. Like I cannot breathe. I can't see anything. Like my heart feels like it's like stopping and it's hardening, and it's the scariest experience in the world. And last week was a good week for me, and I thought like my good days would continue, and they have been until today. So what happened today was I wrote someone's paper for them, and in order to get into someone's room in the other building, you have to get the key card. I gave the security woman the key card. She let me into this kid's room, and his new woman's and him had like a sleepover. And knowing that, I was fine with that. Like seeing them together, seeing them like walk together, talk together, whatever. I'm fine with that. But like I like saw like condom wrappers everywhere, and that's what triggered anxiety. That was the first notch of like my panic attack. And like he didn't want to get like business over and done with. Like he was like watching TV, playing video games, and I was just like chilling. And I was like, okay, I need you to like start working with me now because I need to leave. And so he did what he had to do, and I left. And then I asked the security guard for my key back, and she was like, oh, did you guys break up? Like that was the shortest time you've ever been in that room with him. And that gave me a full-blown anxiety attack. Like I went into panic mode. Wow. And I'm about to start crying just because like I cared about that person a lot. And okay, I feel like it makes more sense if I say it like this. I have PTSD because I was raped. So it took me a while to trust someone, especially men. Like being alone with a man doing anything makes me anxious. Like if you're not my father and I'm alone with you, I don't care if we're friends, I don't care if you're a stranger. I am uncomfortable being alone with you. He is the first guy I've ever been alone with that I was comfortable and I felt like safe, like nothing bad was going to happen. And it just kind of felt like the rug was ripped under me. So when she was like, oh, did you guys break up or whatever, I just had an anxiety attack, and I couldn't stay in my room because I had to deposit the money he had given me. So I had to go to the bank. So like the whole time walking to the bank, because that's like a three block walk. The whole time walking to the bank, I was trying my best not to cry, to not look like a crazy person, to not like kneel on the floor and break down. I was doing everything in my power to just be okay. And I got to the bank, and I went inside to deposit the money, but before I deposited anything, I sat on the ground for a while and I just cried. And I was like trying to like focus on my breathing, like do those like dumb breathing exercises everyone always teaches you to do. And so I was doing that and crying, and then when I felt better, I deposited my money. And my friend Emma texted me, like perfect timing. And we were just talking about everything together, and she made me feel better. Yeah. So, which is like the sucky thing about like not being in your home state, is that when you really need like your real friends the most, like unfortunately they cannot be physically there with you. I mean, like texting her made me feel a lot better, like don't get me wrong, but I'm still like a little overwhelmed and like frazzled, and I have no one to go to, it feels like. Um, this is so gross, I'm sorry. But yeah. Um, so that's kind of tough. And it's 10-page paper. I wasn't aware that there was a due date, and I got an email the other day saying that the due date was this week, and I need to get someone from like the tutoring center to check it. And I still need to write 3 pages, and I have to do the last 3 pages cited from a book and a radio podcast, and I don't know. It's just a lot. It just feels like a lot. It feels like I'm drowning, and I don't know what to do about that. Yeah, so, I'm clearly not having a good time. And like back to like the boy situation, like freshmen live in like a different dorm area, but they're gonna get transferred like at the end of March, beginning of April, to this dorm area, and they like drew numbers, I guess, and the guy is going to live on my floor. So even though I am going to avoid him, I'm unfollowing him from everything, and I'm going to stop talking to him, and I'm going to like just try to stop seeing his face and like try to get out of this weird mood. I can't avoid him forever, obviously. Like, he's going to be on the same floor as me, so at some point, unfortunately, we're going to have to run into each other, and that's going to suck. Yeah, I think that's kind of it. I just needed to get that out there to someone.